Hey Capricorn, how's it going? We're here with your reading for mid-June. Welcome. We're starting off with Ten of Swords and the Moon. Okay. Ten of Swords is something that's closing out. Having the moon can be sort of a mystery where things are going to be going next. So you can be like, well, I know that this is ending, but I don't know what's going to happen now. That's the feeling that I'm getting with this. There can be a part of you that's feeling unsure, like what is going to be happening exactly, but I'm also seeing strength here too, which can, having strength be behind the moon can be like, I'm going through something right now. This can be a difficult chapter to close out. And the moon can sort of be what's like less conscious to us, and having strength be behind it can be not immediately thinking like I'm gonna easily be able to get through this, or I will get through this. Having strength behind the moon can be like, where is my strength? I'm trying to sort of like find it, but you're actually gonna discover it through this process. But there can be something going on where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. That can be a big question. Like, strength is also about like your capabilities, your willingness to show up, and there can be a part of you that's like, I don't know how willing I am to move through this, but I think you're really going to find your willpower through this process in a way that you may have not connected with it before. Because you can feel like you see certain aspects in other people where you're like, they could do this or they could get through it. And you may still be like finding that part of yourself. And this situation is actually going to reveal that to you. So it feels like you're going to find that part of yourself through this process. It's something that's feeling challenging, and you may be having a hard time connecting with that part of yourself, but it's definitely going to be there. And I think also too that you're going to find that you're able to maneuver in these unknown situations. The moon is going to be a situation where you feel like you're walking through something and it's not obvious how to move through it, and you really have to trust your instinct. Like, you really have to trust yourself and pay attention to what's going on, but you're going to feel your way. You're going to feel your way through. And you can be like, well, I'm not the type of person that feels my way through something like this, you know, like these circumstances are more difficult for me. And be that as it may, having strength behind the moon feels like, again, like this part of yourself that I don't think you always recognize. You're going to be connecting with it through this. So it feels like it's going to connect you back with yourself in a way that you may not be feeling, like you may not see yourself that way. This can also be hidden strengths that are going to be realized through this process as well. So it can be stuff that you're not even aware of. Like, I've never had to utilize that before, so I didn't know that I like had it in my toolbox, like that type of thing. So some different things may be called up to the front for you to use. Okay. Strength and Nine of Wands shows you going through a situation that's really difficult. Strength is you being told that you can do this, that this isn't something that's beyond your means, that you're totally capable of handling this situation. But it's also about like how willing you are to work through something that's feeling challenging. Things are going to be getting easier. Okay. Ten of Swords and Two of Swords can be a choice that hasn't been made yet, like whether or not you want to end something, but it can also be about seeing something that you're not seeing too. I'm seeing there be connection on the horizon. Potentially. It's like when the clouds part, the Ace of Cups is going to come out from behind. I think once you get into a place where you're determined to move through this, it's going to feel like much more of a breeze after that. But until that point, it can be something where it's like struggling to make that connection with yourself. You know what this is reminding me actually? In Avatar, when Jake is going to connect with, I forget what the being is called, but it's like this dragon bird thing. And it also happens with the horses too, that they have, you have to like make a connection with the animal. So he takes like his like hair tail thing and he has to connect it with the animal. But it's like you doing that to connect with this part of yourself, and it's kind of like difficult to get into a position where the connection is actually made, but then once it is, there's like that, the access that you have to that part of yourself. I feel like that's what's happening here with this. And it's like intuitively having to sort of seek this part of yourself out in order to be able to connect with it and then apply it, like to exercise it, to be able to utilize it. And Nine of Wands is this feeling of, I'm going through something that feels exhausting. I'm going through something that feels really challenging. It feels testing. It feels trying. I'm sort of just like dealing with this thing. I don't feel like I know what to do all the time, but I'm just doing what I feel like I have to do through this. And you can feel like kind of in this feels like a predicament that you find yourself in. But then I'm seeing that you're going to be moving very quickly. So this can be like the wall that you face, but then this is you moving through, like on the other side of it. Again, I think that you're going to see a part of yourself that you don't always like identify as being yours. And it has to do with courage, it has to do with strength, it has to do with willpower, it has to do with your ability to move through something, that you actually are capable of doing this. So again, like finding that part of yourself as you move through it. This can be some type of silent strength as well that you're connecting with. And you can be too in a space where you're like, I know that I'm strong, but am I strong enough for this specific situation? Or like, I know I'm capable, but am I capable enough for this specific situation? I do feel though with Ten of Swords and Two of Swords, like you may not have made a choice yet. Like there can be something that I don't know if this has ended or not, or there's a choice that needs to be made after. Is it specifically about the Ten of Swords? Is it like, are we closing this out for real or not? Like, am I gonna end this or not? But it can also be like needing to see things as they are, and maybe like whatever answer this is that you're looking for is gonna feel like it becomes much more clear, like it's not some sort of confusing situation anymore. Like when you know, sometimes we can feel like, is it this or is it that? But if you're able to clear things out and look at it more objectively, you can be like, oh, I see what it really is in this situation. I'm seeing something along the lines of that's being recognized. And it also feels too like what you can't see, like the moon being connected with Ace of Cups is like, what you can't see is that there's something that you're going to be connecting with that's going to feel like very pure. And I see this Ace of Cups as being something where there's actually like pure joy that is felt, pure connection, where it's like there's not putting on a show or anything like that. This is like something that genuinely lights you up, something that you genuinely feel connected with, like you smile, you feel it in your heart, but it's something, having it be hidden by the moon right now. Like, you're not seeing that yet. So as I said before about like the clouds are gonna part and this thing is gonna come out, and you'll be like, this is like the most natural thing ever. That's what I get from this. Like, there's no having to try, there's just like an immediate connection there. Strength in the Empress is about doing the thing that you know is the empowering thing to do, but it can be the more difficult thing to do in this situation. So this is like, I need to do this for me. I need to do this for my values. Like that type of thing where you're going to look back and be like, wow, I did the thing that may have been the difficult thing to do in this situation, but I did it for myself. And so you're going to feel like very valiant for the way that you moved through this. Like, you'll be proud of yourself. This is the type of thing where you move through a situation and you're like, look at me. Like, you'd be happy for somebody to see you moving through a situation in this way, like that. Which is really just a reflective of sort of the standard that you have for yourself. Move in the direction of connection. This challenge that you're going through, it takes some patience and some adjusting. It's definitely working itself out here. Having Temperance says that there can be a part of you that's like, can this thing be over already? Temperance is reminding you that it's a process and to be patient with the process and maneuver through as needed. So Ten of Swords is going to be, can we clarify Ten of Swords? Ten of Swords is going to be the closing out of a chapter, and it can mean too, like, I'm not going to have to think about this anymore because it's actually going to be done with. Like, I'm going to be focusing on other things, but you can feel like Ten of Swords is sort of the last straw of you giving your energy and your mental power to this, your mental focus to this. Having us end with Hanged Man shows that there's something that hasn't been seen yet about this chapter closing. So, like, not all the information is here. Just something to be mindful of. And that means too, like, you don't have your full perspective yet. Because you know your perspective shifts as you gain more information about things. So it's like you get some information and you sort of form an opinion, but then you get more and then that can sort of change and evolve. It's like that type of thing. And it's specifically having to do with whatever this is that's closing out and a decision that needs to be made about the direction that you're going in. And you doing something where you're like, I feel proud of myself for doing things in that way. But you have to be patient too, because not all of the information is there yet. You know that. Because I'm seeing Moon connect with Temperance, and this means that eventually, like, everything is going to come to light, but there are certain things that haven't come to light yet. And so you can only work so far with what you have, but also know that you don't have all the information yet. And Ace of Cups and Nine of Wands can feel like something that you are plugging into, something that you're connecting with. It's like a new chapter for the heart space, or the inspiration space, or the feeling space, that you can feel at the same time like something is feeling very challenging right now. Like, there's a lot of energy that has to be exerted, and you can be like feeling like you're in a predicament again. Anything else? There's gonna be more information. You need to be patient to allow everything to come out, because not all the information is there yet, for sure. I do get the sense of something making you happy, but something also feeling like a test about it. You could feel, or like a predicament. That word again is coming through. Predicament, whatever this is. There's going to be more information that comes through about this. I want to pull a couple more cards and see if there's anything else. Nurture what you want to grow. Nurture what you want to grow. It feels like keep investing in this thing that's making you happy. Is this a personal conflict? It's like a personal conflict, a personal challenge about the direction of things. Okay, I'm seeing Tower and Two of Pentacles, which can be that you're going through a bit of an unexpected situation, but if you are like carefully weighing and measuring the choices that you're making and what you're doing, that it's something that you're going to be able to maneuver through, but you need to be mindful of the moves that you're making. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.